So, it has been probably about a month since I posted a video, if not longer than that. I went on a trip to Florida, which I may or may not have mentioned in my last video. And while I was there, I meant to film. I brought, my tripod, and obviously I had my phone with me. That's what I film on. But I was with family, and I wasn't really feeling the best. And really, you probably can't tell that much in my voice, but I am still feeling quite a bit sick. I don't really know if it's allergies combined with a sinus infection or something like that, but I've definitely felt really congested and haven't slept well and stuff like that, and haven't really had my voice. So I haven't, and I haven't just really felt like up to filming. So, yeah, I've thought about continuing with the makeup series, but I'm kind of just feeling like taking a break from that and just doing a little talking. And I actually did my makeup. I was watching some Jamie Page videos about, the first one I think I watched was her highlighter collection or her decluttering. So, I got really inspired just because, she was actually decluttering, Laura, is it Laura Mercier or the Laura Geller, Gilded Honey. And Katie, my sister, had given me a little mini collection of the Gilded Honey in a couple of different forms. And I think it's the cream highlighter, a liquid primer, and the actual like powder Gilded Honey. And I just had this thought because I had just finished watching Karima McKimmy do a look where she layered a glitter sort of on top of a pretty neutral eye look, and I really liked it, so I kind of did that. So I actually bought these cream shadows the other day online that are L'Oreal, and I layered Gilded Honey over the top of it on my eyes. And I also used Laura Geller, the primer with the like golden glitter in it, and I mixed that with something that I had in the house because my makeup bag usually stays in the car for like traveling and going to places is usually where I do my makeup. And so I mixed it with the Milani Conceal and Perfect to kind of, I don't really like a high coverage look most days, so I mixed it with that, but it almost gave me no coverage. And I honestly think it will probably break up, but it's not bad. Pretty glowy. And the other thing I mixed it with was the Pacifica has like a BB cream that literally only comes in one shade. It makes no sense, but it's pretty neutral, and it's mostly just like sort of more so a glittery primer. So I also mixed that in, and then I used a new blush that I bought. It's one of the Bare Minerals Gen Nude. I think it's the mauve one, and it actually has a little bit of glitter. But I watched a review on it the other day, and there's this blush in my collection that I always try to dupe because I love it, and it's almost gone and it's discontinued. So I thought that it was kind of a dupe for that, which it really isn't, but it's really nice. And the person that was reviewing it just had positive things to say about how it's really sheer and how you can't really mess it up. And that's really true. But maybe, I don't know if I like maybe a more high impact blush, but... And then this one does have a little bit of glitter in it, which isn't my favorite thing, but it was a pretty nice blush, and it was on sale where I got it, so I'm not super disappointed with it. And then, oh yeah, I bought, on my lips, I bought some of the, sorry, that was probably really close. I bought some of these Bite Beauty High Pigment Lip Pencils because they're on sale on Sephora right now, and this one is called Sierra or Syra. And, let's see. This is the weirdest thing, and it's probably not going to focus at all, so I'm going to stop. So anyway, it's Syrah, and it looks super, like, nude on the end of the stick, but it's actually a little bit more pigmented than that, and I actually broke it when I was opening it today, so it looks atrocious. But, it's pretty nice. It's what I have on my lips, and then I have on top of that, this, I think, is it L'Oreal? Yeah, L'Oreal Balm and in Caramel Comfort, and it's just kind of like a glossy top coat that I wear on a lot of stuff. And that was in Caramel Comfort. I don't know if I said that. So that's what I'm wearing. I I didn't even do my brows. I don't have any mascara on. My hair is pretty gross. But yeah, I just having a low-key day. I am going to go to a friend's house later and help her take care of her daughter. She had a rough couple of days where, I don't know. I mean, if you're a dog owner, you may or may not know what I'm talking about. Like, sometimes you just have those days where you take your dog to the vet and you think it's going to be fine, and then it ends up being really serious and you don't really know, what the next day looks like. Whether you're going to have to put them down or put them on serious medication, or whether they might even not make it out of that situation. And that's kind of what she's dealing with. And her husband's out of town, and she deals with a chronic illness, and it's just not a good time. So I'm going to go hang out with her for a little while tonight. So I got dressed up a little bit, more so just out of my pajamas. So I'm wearing one of my favorite shirts, this peachy Ralph Lauren t-shirt, and a skirt that I bought the other day at a store here called Gabe's, which is kind of like Rugged Warehouse or Bell's Outlet or something like that, and it's a maxi skirt. The weather is pretty nice today. I would say it's in the 50s. I haven't looked at the weather, but it's really sunny. All the snow has melted from the last couple of days. In the DMV, we got snow on the first day of spring, so it was a little bit of an interesting experience, but yeah, it's melted really quickly. The weather's been really nice, so hopefully that continues. But yeah, I feel like what my channel might be missing right now is like a who am I type of video. I just subscribed to Easy Neon, and I was looking through her videos, and I saw she had a video just called like who am I, and I think that really inspired me to have a more like in front of the camera video. That I've not really talked about who I am a lot. Right now, a lot of people subscribe to my channel are just my friends, so they obviously know quite a bit about me. But I guess just for in the future, who, new subscribers, this can kind of just be like a beginning, who I am, what this channel's about, sort of a Q&A style video where you learn more about me. So my name is Amanda, and I live in the DMV. And I am married to someone that's in the Air Force, and I have I'm the oldest of 3 siblings, and my husband he's not quite the oldest, he's second oldest in his family of 1, 2, 3, 4, so there's 5 siblings in his family, but they are, I can't think of the word, but I want to say mixed family, but I don't think that's right. So they're not all full siblings. Some of his siblings are half, some of them are step, etc. Yeah, so we both have really big families, and we've been married for, well, in April will be our dating anniversary, so that will be, I think, 7 years together, and then November is when we got married in the same year. So we've been together 6 years married and 7 years, including our, like, how long we dated, which wasn't long, obviously. We met when we were living in South Carolina, and actually it was through Craigslist, which is like a super kind of, I would say it's a super interesting story about us, that like both of us are like pretty innocent and like naive, and just never really rebelled a lot as kids, like pretty like straight-laced, I guess. And we met on like one of the literal creepiest places on the internet. But I had moved to South Carolina from North Carolina, and I was living with my grandmother, and I was going to a church that was made up of mostly older people, and which I wanted to continue going to because I had an emotional connection with a lot of them, and I had sort of started like a shut-in ministry at that church for people that I knew when I was younger, that were more shut in at that time in their lives. And so I was visiting them in their homes and kind of just making sure that they were still connected to the community and the church and doing all right. So I didn't want to leave that church, but I did want to make friends that were Christians, that were my age. So I posted on Craigslist, And I might share it here one time as its own separate video, because I still have the Craigslist post, and it's super, super long because I was not fooling around. Like, I did not want dick pics. I did not want just people who were looking for a hookup. I didn't want anything super weird. I was really looking for friendships. And so Justin was one of the people that replied. That's my husband's name. And we met a few weeks later. And we went on a date a week after that or so. And then like 2 months later, we were engaged. And 6 months later, we were married. And it was just one of those things where you just know everything just matches up so perfectly between the two of you. And he was just really exactly what I was looking for in a partner. And I think I was the same for him. And, you know, it's, as I've mentioned in previous videos, it hasn't been the easiest you know, every day of that marriage. But, you know, I think that we both committed to a marriage for life when we committed to each other. And I don't know that we even knew what we were getting into when we said that, but I definitely have no regrets for how quick everything was, or how the life that I signed up for with the ups and downs. I don't have any regrets. I think there is no better partner for me, and I'm so glad that that we met each other and have made a life together. And so that's you know, me in a nutshell. And I guess the other part of me is that I have an Etsy store. It's actually on vacation right now, sort of on a hiatus. I started an Etsy store about 4 years ago, maybe longer, and maybe 5, and in the summer. And one of his youngest sibling is his little sister, and she had recently like gotten a fancy DSLR camera and was really doing super well with the quality of pictures she was taking. And so while she was with me for this in the summer, I was like, hey, would you mind taking a couple pictures of these things for me so that I can start an Etsy store? And she did. And some of those pictures are actually still on my Etsy store. And a lot of the stuff that she took pictures of me, for me, are items that sold. She is still a really impressive, photographer, and I would love for her to do more of my photography, because honestly, mine is not up to par. I've definitely worked on it, but, I haven't really put in the time and effort that I should. I don't know if it's because of fear, or because of not really feeling motivated, or whatnot, but her pictures and her photography skills are still to this day amazing. And so that kind of gave me that push, that she was available to me at that time, gave me the push that I needed to start that. So I've had an Etsy store open since then, and it's called Jean's Basement, because of my grandma Jean. She, her and me and my mom, for as long as I can remember, we would always like trade furniture with her. And so my mom is married to a Marine. My dad is a Marine. So like we moved a lot. And so our house would be different every time we moved. And so we would find different ways that we would need to make the furniture work. And my grandma would really do the same. Even though she wasn't in the military or anything, she was moving quite a bit. And so we would always find like, oh, well, this settee would work more in your house than mine, or this dresser would work more in your house than mine. And so it was almost like every time we moved, we would go shopping in Jean's basement. And my grandma and my mom also have a similar passion for antiques and vintage stuff that I do. And so a lot of times it was stuff that we would thrift and find that would be a really good value or a really good quality, but we really wouldn't have anywhere for it in our house, and so it would end up in someone else's house. And as an adult, as a kid, I really didn't participate as much, but I saw my mom and my grandma kind of trading back and forth. And as an adult, I've really gotten to participate in that a lot more, you know, in my own house that I've moved quite a few times already as an adult. And so I've been able to kind of like, well, this doesn't really work for me, but I think it would work for you, and vice versa. So I always told my grandma jokingly, I think when I was probably around 15, I told her if I ever open a store that I would call it Jean's Basement. And so when I opened that store almost 10 years later, I did call it that, and I do call it that, and I love that name And I think it really suits my dream is to have things available that are just kind of like a mix and match. Like, does this fit here? Does this fit there? Some new, some old, some, it just really fits. And so I have some clothes in the store, and I have some household items in the store, and I hope one day to have furniture in the store. And honestly, I think that my dream is to have a brick and mortar store. I think right now in the phase of life that I am, it really works to have an online presence. And I think even if I had a brick and mortar store, I would want to have an online presence, through Etsy or my own website. So I'm really happy with it. I think right now I have so much stock that I haven't taken photos of, because of that, fear or not really feeling motivated. And so I really want to set down and make, an area around my house or in my local area to be a photo, the place where I take photos or the opportunity where I can take photos, and really get a lot more stuff in my shop. And really some of the pictures that were there really, really need to be improved. And so a lot of the pictures I even have up, I would probably retake and re-upload to the site. So I think my shop just isn't where I want it to be right now, which is why I have it closed. And I really hope, I'm hoping April or May to really sit down and take a lot of photos and really revamp my store. Especially with now bringing YouTube into my social media presence. I think I really want to be able to tell the story of how my Etsy store came to be and how it is where it is now, and just going on the journey with me as it hopefully becomes a bigger and bigger part of my life and part of me and Justin's life, and really part of like my a success story for me that that I could fulfill my dream, even being a military wife, even traveling all over the country and moving every 3 to 4 years, and just living the way that we do, traveling a lot and stuff, and just that can work, that you can create, your dream can fit in whatever kind of shape of your life that it is. I think sometimes you think, my life is a square and this dream is a circle, and so they don't really fit. But really, I think that you can adapt things into the way that work for you where you are in your life. And I think it's exciting to see people build their businesses and what goes on behind the scenes of someone who could potentially become really big and successful, but really right now is just kind of like a bump on bump on a log, but just like a blip in the atmosphere, I guess, is that I've made a couple of sales. I wouldn't call myself really successful, but I have the right things in place to be successful. And so I think it would be really cool to go on that journey with me, and also to just the other parts of my personality of, that I really love makeup. I really love style, and I really love decorating, and I really love vintage, and and so all those parts can come to play, play a part in this channel. I think, I guess that kind of reminds me of like another goal that I have, which is to really have fashion and style become a bigger part of this channel. I think for the most part, I could do an outfit of the day. I could do, like what I wore this month or something like that. And because I am plus sized, I think that might be what helps my channel to grow quite a bit more, because of the representation that plus size women have online. And I think, even just talking in the comments, the other day with some women, like, I think even when you consider, what is available for looking at plus size fashion online, you see a lot of women who are very tall, like 5'9", 5'10", even 5'6" or 7. It's just a completely different set of options, because you see a lot of these brands like Lane Bryant and Torrid really being built for women who are a certain height And not all fat women are the same height. Not all fat women are tall. A lot of fat women are short. And you know, it's harder to understand your size and your shape and what looks, you know, what is going to fit your style and fit your body in a way that you want, and that's ideal for you, when a lot of the people that you're seeing are a head or two taller than you, and their clothes are going to fit that piece of clothing is going to fit their body so much different than it's going to fit yours. And so as someone who is plus size and short, I think that is a cool market to break into in, you know, on social media. So so yeah, I think I hit sort of different areas, so you can learn a little bit about me, and kind of will set you up for what to expect on this channel. And yeah, I hope that you're having a good day, and I will see you soon. Bye.